everybody, I'm Katie Pavlich from townhall.com, and today we are at Murphy's, a grand Irish pub, and I am with the former White House Press Secretary, Sean Spicer. Thank you so much for taking the time. We are here to talk about his new book, The Briefing, Politics, the Press, and the President. It comes out soon. We're excited for your launch. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for coming to Murphy's. Not only a great Irish bar, but a great Patriots bar.
Most importantly, a great Patriots bar. We are both Irish, so we thought this would be the perfect venue to talk about Sean's new book. So let's talk about the inauguration. Inauguration rolls on.
It's a great day.
Great day. It was a little bit of a rough start for you guys.
I heard.
To some of the things. You planned on briefing the press for the first time on a Monday.
I did.
You ended up briefing the press for the first time on a Saturday.
Correct.
Why was that?
Well, we had, let's take it back a moment. On Friday, after the president had been sworn in, we had brought the press in to do a pool spray, which is allowing a group of the media, a representative group of the media in to watch the president kind of hit the ground running. He was signing some executive orders, getting going. And we thought this will really set the tone, show that the president's hard at work for the American people, getting going, and getting results that he had promised. And suddenly this became this kerfuffle about whether or not the Martin Luther King statue was there or not. And we spend, instead of rushing off to the balls and helping and celebrating this historic moment, we're sitting there trying to tamp down a story that somehow the President of the United States has removed the bust of Martin Luther King that had been there when President Obama had occupied the Oval Office. That turned out to be unbelievably false. And so that set the immediate tone, which is like, what, are you kidding me? This is what you're focusing on?
Right.
And so the next morning, the president wakes up and he sees on television these panel discussions about how many people were on the mall versus that. And I understand his frustration that after having this historical election, this speech that he gave, laying out his vision, getting right to work. Now we're talking about how many people were where or whatever. And I think there was a desire to push back on that.
So that didn't play well for you guys.
No.
So would you say that was one of the mistakes that you made during?
Well, I do. Look, I talk about that event in totality in the book and walk through what led up to it, how that day went down. And again, obviously, so if you're asking, would I do it differently? 100%. I mean, I wasn't pleased with that day. Obviously, the press corps wasn't, but, and I write extensively about this. Right. But the president wasn't happy. Nobody walked out of that day saying, hey, good job. It was a very low point because that wasn't the way that I wish we had started. We had a historic campaign. We had a lot of things on the agenda. The president was ready to hit the ground running. And this was not the way that I think we wanted to. This was not putting our best foot forward.